Hello. Good evening.
G'day.
Good day.
How we doing? How we doing, ladies?
Good
What's crack
morning.
lacking? Yeah. Good morning to any Southern Hemisphere ladies with me today.
um, how is your morning so far?
It's pretty good. As I told you, I woke up from a stream dream.
Stream
Not too
dream.
long. Yeah, not too long ago. The curse is back. I arrived in Canada. I was on a beach boardwalk, and I was being harassed by TikTokers using their phones as microphones to try and like do challenges with me, where they were like, "Do you want to kiss me or punch me?" And I was like, "Well, I'm gonna have to punch you because I need to get to the stream." And then the cops got involved because neck chops didn't count as punching, and I didn't make it to the stream. But thankfully, that's not real life, and I'm here right now. So
Great. Um, Robin made me laugh. She said, I forgot I was waiting around for the stream, and when you started talking, my soul left my body.
sorry, Robin.
I've heard other people say that before too. That's too
In
funny.
your walls.
Yes, so hello to everybody in the chat. Hope you're all well. Hope you've had a nice day. Tomorrow's Friday. It's today on Friday for Rusty.
Yes,
Today
lovely
is
Friday
Friday.
morning. It's
Mm.
Friday. Gotta do a
Gotta get
stream on
down Friday.
Friday.
Right, is Rusty really even here right now?
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that again.
Yeah, so today we're going to talk a little bit about what has been going on in your world as far as lease-bound stuff and things you're dealing with, and
Yeah,
yeah.
it's been eventful. You know, it sort of happens every year. Like new gendies discover Leasebound, so I get a little bit of feedback there before sort of their nonsense. Like I published the second volume of Leasebound this year, so there's a physical version.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I've gone with a print on demand company this time. So the first
Oh,
time that I
interesting.
printed, yeah, the first time I printed like and had to pay for 50 copies of the print version of volume one and like send them out, and the shipping service I was doing wouldn't pay me until after the product had arrived. So I was like so out of pocket with like shipping. And, oh, it was just a
Oh my
nightmare.
god.
Yeah, and yeah, it wasn't fun. So this has like made it a lot easier. So the print on demand is just like once you get an order, then they just print one and ship it out, and I don't have to like keep it in my house and worry about it getting damaged or anything like that.
Damn.
Yeah, so it's been a lot easier that way. I still have to have a vetting process because of
Mm.
aforementioned gendies. So like on my website there is a LB print copy section, and there's like 5 reading comprehension questions that I know gendies will find difficult to answer. Um, that people can email me. So it sucks because it's like I feel like I would get a lot more traction if I could just post the shop link, but I can't
Mm-hmm.
because the same group that like got my Patreon taken down, like they still watch what I'm doing, watch my movements pretty closely. So it sucks a little bit in that way, but I have had a bunch of sales, so that's been really good. It's really cool. I have my own copy as well, and I'm always looking at it like, oh, because I have wanted to, you know, publish books since I was a little girl.
Yeah.
I used to make them for my younger siblings, and like they were the stars of the
Mm.
story, and like I'd hand draw a little barcode, and like
That's so cute.
it was all on like recycled paper, so there'd be like print copy on like one side, and I would just like, I'm gonna make a book today, and I would like staple a bunch of pages together and then figure out what was going in it like afterwards. And all of my stories ended with like, and then my sibling brushed their teeth and had dinner and went to bed, and then I would have a bunch of blank pages, so I'd be like, the end, the end, the end, the end, the end. So there's a lot of that. So it's like I wish I could show my younger self. I was like, look, you did it. It's
Oh,
real now.
yeah. Things we would tell our younger selves.
Oh,
Aw.
absolutely, absolutely.
You've
So
printed real life books.
yeah,
Little
it's I
baby
could
Rusty.
They look really nice. The quality is really nice. I'm gearing up to. I have enough pages for the third volume, but I haven't done it yet because there is like a like small fee involved because I have them like
Mhm.
officially barcoded with like a I can't remember the acronym ISBN, like International Serial Book Number, like the actual official number the barcode comes with. And because it's not in Australia, the country I print through, like they send a bunch of copies to their national library, which I have to pay for. But it's kind of
Whoa,
cool that there's copies of Leasebound in a different country's library. I'm like, oh, I hope someone like just finds it organically. That's kind of cool to think about.
that is really cool. On the printed copies, like, is there like a link to your website? There must
Yes.
be.
Yes, I will get the URL for you real quick because it's like even if you just go to leasebound.com, it's at the top of the page. There's like
Yeah.
a header menu and it's called LB print copy, but I will grab the link.
Hmm.
Doo-doo-doo.
But in the actual like printed books, like, does it say leasebound.com somewhere?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. There's like sorry, I misunderstood.
No,
Yeah,
no.
there's
Okay.
yeah, there's at the end I've added like little character bios and then it's like, oh, and like if you want to read about more of them, you can go here. Or there's like a
Oh.
next time on Leasebound, this is gonna be happening. If you want to read ahead, we're like hundreds of pages ahead on the website, which brings me to my little factoid that I brought
Ooh,
along.
I love a factoid.
Yeah, so I was doing a page count, like just a total page count, and currently they're not all published, but Leasepound has 496 completed pages. And yep.
Whoa.
So I'm gearing, and I know which page is going to be the 500th. It's going to be the 18th page of chapter 13, which I'm at the 15th page at the moment. So I've got like lots of backlog. But I was like, holy shit! I thought I was hovering somewhere near 400. So
Oh, wow.
I was like, oh damn, impressed myself. Sorry, I'm just reading
That
chat
is
real
so
quick.
cool.
I have not been looking. I've been rambling.
That's okay. I'm gonna. Oh, what is it? Oh, yes. Okay. This. Okay. I'm gonna look at in the chat. How many times have I done this? Um,
It's all right, Grandma.
Robin in the chat just sent me this. I'm just gonna show it to you on Discord so you can see it.
Oh yeah, show me in the DMs.
She has the same shirt as Riley is wearing in this picture.
Oh, with the little anchors. That's so cute.
Isn't that
Thank you
so
for
cute?
thank you for supplying your wardrobe to Riley. Thank you, Abastorum. I have been accused of being a little bit of a workaholic. I'm denying those
Mhm.
allegations because it's going to be 6 years that I've been making Leasebound this year. It'll be in July 24th. It will be 6 years since I've been making Leasebound.
Wow. I can't believe that.
Time flies.
It does.
Time flies. Genders stay the same.
Yeah.
I keep
Well,
moving. Yeah.
we're gonna talk about that a little bit.
Yes.
So maybe we should start. Like, everyone here, I'm sure, knows Leasebound is a webcomic that you
Mhm.
draw, you write, you produce, you do literally everything for,
Mhm.
which is
Yes.
crazy. A woman
Yes.
of many skills and talents.
I mean, it doesn't feel like work to me most of the time because I love creating, I love telling stories. But yeah, Leasebound
Hmm.
is um it started as just like a passion project because like I've always done art. I've been in like lots of different fandoms and I was making fan art and stuff. But it was just like acting on this because it got spoken a lot about, particularly in like radical feminist circles, where people always
Mm.
gravitate towards like male characters more. Like
Yep.
even in like the shipping scene, it's always like male characters get the most popular, then it's female male character pairings, and then like female pairings sort of get left to the wayside. And a lot of the problem is that like female characters aren't just like they aren't given like the same care and depth that a lot of
Hmm.
male characters have. So sometimes you have shows where it's just like there's no interesting female characters, so people are like, well, I'm just gonna like ship the male ones, which is
Yeah.
like, oh, like that actually does explain that phenomenon. Like even I'm guilty of like prioritizing male characters and whatnot. So Leasebound was almost a
Yeah, of
project to
course.
like force myself to stop doing that. And be like, well, I keep saying I want to read lesbian stories with interesting lesbian characters. I guess I'm gonna have to make it myself. So
Ah,
that is
yeah, yeah, be the representation you want to see in the world,
yeah,
kind of
or
thing.
make it, I guess. Make the
Yeah, or make it, yeah.
representancy. Absolutely.
Exactly. Be the change, yeah. That's
Absolutely.
Hi, Lisa. Lisa is here.
Hi, Lisa. Welcome.
Yeah, and so in the chat, somebody, Ratty Puppet, asked if we've seen the video. We
Oh,
have.
yes. That
That's why
is
we're here tonight.
yes, that is I haven't watched it. I'm
Yeah,
actually
don't.
practicing some restraints because I sort of got into like this idea in my head of like the rules for how genders behave and the rules how I present myself
Mhm.
feel very different. So I'm like, I have to engage with all criticism and I have to be able to debunk it in a civil manner or in at least in a funny manner. But this time I'm like, yeah, it's got the word like turf right in the title. It's like it's a webcomic for turfs, by turfs. I'm like, do I really even
It's
fuck
not
with
really,
anything you have
though.
to say? Do you have anything of value to say? I don't think I want to find out, to be honest. And I've been getting a
Hmm.
lot of spam comments, kill yourself, die, hope you get raped, all that fun
Mm.
stuff, or just like you're a pedophile because you have a 10-year-old lesbian character. All your lesbian characters look like men; they should be trans men. And I'm like, wow, you should like listen to some of the characters in the story because you're saying exactly what they're saying.
Yeah.
But it's again this time I have been practicing a lot of restraint because I'm not on Insta anymore. It's like I was just scrolling on there too much. I don't have a Tumblr. It's really just my website where I have control. So I have moderation on all comments. They have to be manually moderated. So I've just been deleting them
Good.
all, not even like
Good.
reading them. It's just like bye. I'm not. I share a
Yeah.
couple of the most unhinged ones with like you and a couple other friends,
Yes.
but
In
yeah,
the DMs,
they yeah. So they
where
get the
they won't get
they
any
don't
attention.
no, they don't get like the satisfaction of even like
Hmm.
appearing on the website. They just have to keep coming back. And I'm like, well, I'll just keep adding to the view count. Not that the website is monetized, but it's a little some.
Hmm. Okay, so let's start with like maybe then the good. Like, what's the
Oh yeah.
good parts of Leasebound and having the website and
Oh yeah.
making the
It's
comic and
I think the good definitely outweighs the bad. Like especially now, like
good.
because I've been going for a while. Like I have a pretty regular reader base because the comic currently updates once a week. So there's a lot
Yeah.
of regulars who come in and they have like they range also there's the funny girlies who are like making memes about what's happening in the story. There's the ones who are like I have like a handful of my beloved LB essayists who come in with just paragraphs and paragraphs of information of things that they like, things that it's made them think about. And I'm just like, holy crap, like there's so many smart interesting women who I've
Hmm.
been able to like meet or like read from because they're coming to Leasebound. And I think one of my favorite ones is when new women discover Leasebound because I can look at all my comments in like a chronological order on like the back end. So I'll like
Okay.
wake up and have like 20 emails and it'll be like on chapter 1 page 3 it's like, oh boy, I've just started reading this story, I'm going to see how it goes. And then it's like a comment in chapter 3 and a comment in chapter 4, so it's like they're almost like live reacting to it, which is
Oh,
really really
yeah.
fun.
Like posting as they're reading kind of thing.
Yeah, that's like one of my favorite
Oh.
things. I love it so much, especially when they're like not expecting certain twists and turns and like, oh boy, I hope like this happens. I'm like, oh, just wait, wait, I can't wait to see what you're gonna think. So it's incredibly gratifying. Even just last week, someone a fan, I guess a couple fans set up a fan blog. I believe it's called leaseboundweek.tumblr.com, and
Oh, yeah.
they're doing like a fandom week where they like got a bunch of like 7 days of like prompts to either like do art or writing or essays too, and they have like anonymous submissions and stuff. So I think that's being hosted May 12th to May 18th. So it's next week. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
There's
if
the
you're on
link.
Tumblr, check out the post and reblog the
Yeah,
post. And
engagement certainly helps. It's never going to rival like the 200,000 view or whatever the video is because I don't, despite what Gendy say, I don't have the reach that I that they think I do. It's a very niche
mm,
little corner of the internet, but I would love to see more fandom engagement. One of the things that I really wanted with Leasebound is to create sort of like a fandom space because like I'm big into them. I love how women send like how many women come to fandom and like how they discuss stories and themes and motifs and like character interactions and do
Yes.
character things. I love all that, but I would love it to just be like about women. So like these sounds like perfect breeding ground for that. So if you wanted to engage with that, I would love to see it, ladies. Have a bit of
There's a
fun.
couple
Oh yes.
comments I want to. So Tetra said it's her favorite webcomic.
Oh, thank you.
Nena, which I agree with, said you should sell ads on your website.
I have looked into it, but I'm a little worried. Like, I don't quite know the logistics of it. Like, I would hate for it to be like, oh, hot single woman to fuck in your area. Well, I would hate that to be on my website.
Well, Nena is offering her services, so
thank you, Nena. You're such a queen. You're
God,
so professional.
Not funny,
Yeah, but I wouldn't.
funny.
I wouldn't want that. I would just hate any sort of like weird porn stuff to be on my website. So if there was a way to control that, I haven't super looked into it, but it's probably at a because I'm averaging about like 2,000 viewers a week on the pages according to my analytics. So it's kind of cool.
Good.
Imagining all those ladies in a room.
Enlightened Female says, hot take, radical feminist echo chambers are important considering how almost every group targets us. We shouldn't be shut in, but we shouldn't tolerate bullying or violence against us. Great
Absolutely.
comment.
Yeah, I think that's a great point.
Serena used to follow you on Tumblr. Loved how you dealt with the haters and their fan art.
Oh yes, I have it hasn't been updated in a little while, but I have a physical fan art wall. When I started, because the first thing I got was like hate fan art, where they would like redraw the AGP men. It's so funny because they're so insignificant, but they do it like every year. They're like, oh, I'm gonna like steal her trans characters and make them better. They're still fucking doing it.
Yeah,
but
many chapters ago. Not in the story at all.
No. Anymore. I started like reblogging it and tagging it as fan art, which they called harassment. And they kept doing it. So I was just like, I'm gonna print it out with the rest of my fan. I'm like, look at my fan art. Well, they're like, that's not fan art. You stole from us. That's a copyrighted image. And I'm like, bruh.
This is Tumblr. Please.
What are you gonna do? Call the police? This woman in Australia, she printed out a picture that she paid for and put it on her wall. Like, it's like
wild.
Yeah, so it's been fun.
Super nice comment. Robin says,
thank you.
Cry.
Yes, yeah, it was a pretty heavy chapter we just finished. We're just finishing up chapter 12. There is one more page to go in the public release. I also do have a boosty now, which is like Patreon, but it's Russian, so you can be transphobic, quote unquote. So yeah, it basically functions like Patreon, and I've got like 2 tiers where one you can like keep 1 page ahead of the public upload schedule, and one where you can keep a month ahead of the public upload schedule. You get like a batch of 4 to 5 comics at the start of each month instead of having to wait a week between. So if that is interesting to anyone, I can put it in the chitty chat as well. Let me get it. I'm putting it in.
While you're doing that, Dora Stevens says, I love seeing more lesbian representation, especially when there are POC, butch women, and more diversity, because all I see are femme white lesbians together. It's usually male gazy.
Yes, I agree. It really bugs me. And like, I've had plenty of criticism on that too, from the Gendies, from like, it's very interesting to see them, usually with Jaden, the black main character. She is a Ghanaian Australian immigrant. And they're like, she looks like a man, but also like you're racist because her dad is dead, or you're racist for, I don't know, you had a woman
he died of male character disease.
He had to die. Like, the women needed character development. So, bye. Like, have you never seen a Disney movie before? Usually characters have a dead parent. Lots of, or because there was a police officer in the story because Jaden was assaulted by the AGP, and they're like, it's propaganda because there is a police officer. Yeah, and it's like, I'm like, workplaces, if someone gets assaulted at work, usually it's like call ambulance, call police, because you're mandatory to like make a report, but this is like lost on these people. But I'm sure they would be just as upset if it was all white lesbians too. So it's like it is. I'm glad that it means something to the women who read it, honestly, because to me
Me
it's like,
too.
well, if it's like one of the easiest ways for me to make distinct female characters, it's just like, well, why would they all be white? That's crazy. It's about women and lesbian experiences. Those are not white experiences. Like they can be anybody, any woman or lesbian's experience. So I'm glad.
Mm, good. Okay, let's talk a bit about, unfortunately, the bad
Yes.
stuff that's been happening lately. So we mentioned or
Yeah.
alluded to that video. Someone made a hit piece essentially.
Yeah, it was like I believe I have friends have watched it, but I haven't watched it. It
Yeah,
was like
don't.
a breakdown, like the person, I believe it's a TIFF with like a voice
It is.
modifier.
Oh, it's an AI voice.
Yeah, and she did like a read through of the whole comic, and I've seen like some screenshots of some of the comments, and I don't know if she said like, "Hey, disclaimer, don't harass this person." Probably not, because I'm an evil turf, obviously. We don't have feelings or worries about our security or being doxxed or anything like that, because we're not human.
Mm.
So I have gotten a lot of comments, but they, again, because they don't have anywhere else to go on the website, it's been very easy to delete them. But yeah, these people are just uh cray.
Just that's one way to put it.
Yeah,
Um,
you just so many times you're like, wow, I just read that assembly of words and I didn't think that they could ever be arranged that way. Some people just, wow, okay, yep.
oh my God. Yeah. Well, and the thing is too that is so crazy. It's like you're a one woman show. You're
Hmm.
doing this all by yourself, literally by your own hands.
Yep.
And you're in your niche
Got to be
little
good with your
corner of the
hands when you're
internet.
lesbian, ladies.
That's
Wink,
true.
wink. Sorry.
And then it's like, no, 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 it's good. And then it's like, it just frustrates me that like people who like this person has like 60,000 followers on TikTok or something. And it's
Hmm.
like to use your huge platform for something evil is just like so gross.
Yeah. The thing is that like they don't see it as evil to like,
I
and this
know.
is this has always been a thing on the internet. Like it's not new, but like I feel like that TikTok and even to an extent YouTube with these big I guess hit pieces or whatever,
Mhm.
there's like this exacerbation of this like internet vigilantism where people like think they're doing the right thing and they're like, oh, we're gonna go like dox this person, we're gonna go harass this person into
Right.
silence. And it's just crazy because I've never
Horrible.
had this urge. Like when you're a normal person, like I see stupid gendy shit all the time, and like rarely is my first thought I'm gonna go leave them a hate comment. Like usually it's like a
Never.
it's been like put onto a like I've been watching because you recommended her. I've been watching a lot of, oh gosh, what is her name, Radical Siren, no,
Oh yeah, Runaway Siren.
Runaway Siren. There you go. I've been watching a lot
940.
of her, and like she uses TikToks and videos and stuff from
Mhm.
genders or whatever. And in the comments you can be like, "Ah, this is cringe," or "Oh my god, I can't believe they said that." But like my thought isn't to go to them. I don't
Right.
have say your piece, criticize it. No, that you shouldn't be excluded from being able to criticize something no matter how poor your reading comprehension is. But it's different when it crosses over into that harassment, which is very very common in gender spaces. Like it's just, yeah, it
Ugh.
won't be it's not the first time and it won't be the last time. I sort of rank them. It wasn't the worst. I think because on the website you also have to give an email, and a lot of them don't realize how you can fake emails. And I
So
think
they
a
use
lot.
their own real.
Yeah, there's people who've
Oh,
left their full name emails, I'm assuming, and I also get like the IP address records. And
oh
I
boy.
feel like the younger generations are becoming a little less tech literate, so they're not using like VPNs and stuff. So
Oh
in a way,
boy.
they don't. realize the clemency that they are being afforded by me, because they send the most vile shit, and I'm like, yeah, I can
Right.
see you've used your full name in your email, and I can see the state that you live in. If you had this information on me, um your behavior would be completely different. You do not realize how much grace I am showing you.
Yeah,
And
you really
it's not
do.
because I want to dox them, but it's more
No.
like, wow, okay, nobody's told these people like internet stranger danger. That was a very foolish thing of you to do, and it's the same with TikToks. Like these kids are like doing their little dance to being like, actually, I think like that men with dicks like should be able to rape anyone they want, do dancing their little dance, or like, and then it's like that's your whole face attached to that, and you're like 16. Oh my god.
It is quite shocking to me the way people are on, like, younger people are on the internet these days, because it's like you're gonna have to get a job,
Mhm.
like, and
Yeah.
if your name is on everything, like people use their real full names on their social media, it's like, I mean, like I'm doing tomorrow actually.
Oh
I'm
yes.
doing 4 interviews for a position at work. Like I'm hosting 4 interviews. And I Googled every single applicant's name, and it's
Mhm.
like, the stuff you find could influence whether or not a person's gonna get that freaking job.
Yeah. Yeah, and if it's a TikTok saying like outlandish things, it's like, maybe you shouldn't be in charge of anybody else in an employed position.
Right?
um
Oh man, no.
I mean, I guess the same could be said, like, I'd imagine lots of organizations would not want to hire me because of my transphobia or whatever. But yeah, it's um yeah,
Yeah,
it's
Lisa knows.
certainly yeah, seriously, Lisa, I am very sorry about what has happened to you. It's completely unacceptable. These people do not be knowing how to act, to be honest. Because yeah, I've had doxing attempts, but nobody has been successful. Touch on wood. But people go looking. They revel, I guess, in like trying to dig up information and stuff. And it can be quite scary. Um,
Hmm.
it's yeah, it can be pretty alarming, but it sort of is what it is. Try and do as much protective online safety as you can. Sorry, I'm
Yeah.
reading the chat as well. Ratty Puppa, as a zoomer, embarrassed in 99% of other zoomers, and the least bound critique video is a great example why. Yeah. It, it's not it's not the first of its kind. There is like a 3-hour let's read of the first 4 chapters by a bunch of dudes on one tiff.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's yeah. um and it's
Idiots.
funny how similar the criticisms I've heard, because again, I'm just hearing bits and pieces. I haven't watched the video, but like,
Mhm.
complaining that all the characters are lesbians, complaining about the child lesbian, and being like,
That's the
it's weird
point.
that she's like, she lets the women dress like gender non-conforming, but she's against trans. And I'm like, you're so close yet so far. You fucking, there's nothing between your ears, is there? Fucking pronoun pin having dumb shit. Sorry.
Oh, idiots. Don't
Arbor
forget the
Storm
lesbian
correct as
cat.
well. Oh yes, the lesbian cat. Yeah, they hate that as well. Arbor Storm, they can't debate you, so they want to intimidate you. The same
Ah,
tactic they use the entire time. Yeah, it's been that the entire time.
Minka says, I'm an openly gender abolitionist in high school and changed my Discord profile pic to art from Leasebound.
Oh yes, Minka, I remember
Oh.
you saying that you were born in 2006, which really fucks me up.
It's the year I graduated high school.
Yeah, that's
Oh, but it's
that makes
amazing to
me,
see, like,
yeah,
yeah, such young women, um,
absolutely.
picking up the
I do have a couple of younger readers, sort of in that high school age range. And they get me for that as well, because I've had, I think she was 16 at the time. She just sent some fan art. She was like, this is some Riley fan. I was like, thank you so much. And they're like, Rusty is interacting with minors. And I was like, okay. And they're like, you should never speak to a minor. I was like, okay. All right.
Okay.
All right then. Okay.
Oh, oh my God, there are a lot of young gals in here. A lot of 2006 buddies, Green Emerald 2005,
what the
another
fuck?
05. It's wonderful that all of you young gals are here. It's just shocking to me because I feel like if you were born in the
People stopped
2000s,
being
you
born.
must be like in kindergarten, right?
Yeah, like at 10 at most. At most. That's so awesome though. There are
Yes, it really
like
is. Oh, another one.
I you guys have to be so strong to have been in high school with this bullshit. I would have gone crazy because that's another common criticism. Because the main character Jaden doesn't know what gender stuff is. That makes them quite
Right.
mad because they're like, how can a lesbian not know what LGBT means? And I'm like, my God, could you be more fucking Westerner? And and also like Leafspan is set in 2017, so that sets Jaden graduating around 2011,
Yeah,
2012.
or right around the time this shit started
Yeah,
blowing up.
like it was still more contained to Tumblr then. Like, and I've talked to because that's around the time I graduated. I graduated 2013, and the idea of LGBT to me came from Tumblr. I had never heard of that shit before until I got on Tumblr, and like the
Right.
idea of like these gay straight alliance clubs, like that shit would not have flown at my high school.
No.
If you walked close to
Same.
that fucking building, it would be like, you fucking queers. What are you, gay? Like everybody was still saying retarded and gay in
Yeah,
2013. Like, and
totally.
I'm saying the actual word because it's just like, yeah, I'm guilty of that too. Fucking 2009, everybody was fucking saying it. Times have changed a lot.
Yes.
Of like the landscape of gay stuff. But like, I didn't know any out gay kids in school. I wasn't even accepting myself as gay at the time. I was just like, I'm just gonna tuck those thoughts right away.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in love with my best friend, but it's nothing. Actually, when I was mistaken for, I've told you the story where because I was in love with my best friend when we were 13. She was a Jehovah Witness, rip.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
And like very against gay people. She was like, they should just, if I was gay, I would just choose not to act on it. Like she was very homophobic, but I loved her so much. And I would do shit for her because I was in love with her. Because I was a stupid 13-year-old. And
Aw.
she convinced me to go to this Zumba class because they were also big at the time. And I was like, I don't like dancing. I don't like the idea of Zumba. I don't like the idea of being public dancing, but she asked me to go, so I will go. I will go, queen. And
So
we got there.
cute.
Yeah, we got there and it was a women's, like female only. Gosh, what a
Yeah.
great time when you can have female only Zumba class. And so we went in together and I was in fucking like baggy black jeans and like a black t-shirt and like I had my head under like a baseball cap. And the lady at the front was like, oh, like, okay, so we've signed you up to my crush. And then she's like, but your boyfriend's going to have to wait outside. And she looked at me and I was like, why do I like this? Why do I want to be her boyfriend? And I was like, that's just, yeah, this is normal thoughts. Or she, the end of the school year was for grade 8 and 9, so 13, 14-year-olds. The rest of the high schoolers would have already finished their school year, so there was 2 weeks where it was just us. And at the very end, we got to go to an amusement park, the theme park world. There was Movie World and Wet Wild, like they're a big thing up in Queensland. And so we went together and like we were paired up. And I knew that she was leaving at the end of the school year because her parents were taking out of school because Jehovah's Witnesses are evil.
Longing.
Yeah. And so because our last names were very different on like the role, like she was at one end of the role, I was at the other. We were put on separate buses, but I snuck onto her bus because I knew we weren't going to get to spend much time together.
Gross.
So I rode with her. And there was this boy that she liked, and I, for the sake of like having something to talk about with her, I just said I liked him too. We ended up with him in like a line to go on a roller coaster where there was like their 2-seaters. And so he was with his friends, or like 3 of his friends, and we were together and like we were waiting in line and she was like so excited to talk to him and I was just like happy to watch her being happy. And we got to the we got to the front of the line and the way that it turned out, like I was going to be seated with the boy she liked and she was going to be seated with someone else, and I gave her my seat so she could sit with the boy she liked, and she was so touched by that. She's like, but you like him too. I'm like, sure, yeah, him, yeah. I loved her so much.
Oh, Rusty, that's so cute.
Yeah, and she was like so thankful on like the way home, like when we're on the bus. She's like, I can't believe like you did that for me. I was like, yeah, anything for you, queen.
For you, queen.
Yeah, like we would sneak onto AOL like past my curfew to like role play our OC characters, and I was always drawing anime boys for her, and I would be the anime boy that she would fall in love with. This is so normal. I was so normal. I was so straight, guys. And she would try and return the favor. She's like, look, why don't like I design you like an anime boyfriend? It's like, no, that's okay. I don't mind playing the boy. Yeah. And like even before her, when I was in primary school, my High School Musical was really big. So we were like 11, 12, and all the girls were really about Zac Efron. And I was just like, what's he got that I don't got? Man, I wish I was Zac Efron so the girls would like me.
You're so close. You are so close to getting it.
And like if I would see like female characters that were dressed more gender non-conforming, like tomboys in a movie, and I was just like, I just like her because she's wearing boy clothes. That means I really like boys because I like their clothes that they wear.
Oh my god.
No, Plumie Plum. I did not get a Zac Efron haircut. I did think about it, but like I have very thick curly hair, so it wouldn't have worked out. But yeah, my god, what he got that I don't got, really? I mean, really.
Oh, so good.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, regarding, we talked a little bit about like the freaking influx of hate and shit that you have to deal with, and you have been dealing with for years at this point.
Oh yeah, if there's a cycle.
Yeah, why keep it up? Why not let them win?
For the first, I genuinely believe in what I'm doing. I feel like this is the longest I've had lots of projects and art stuff that I've done over the years. I've been in lots of fandoms, but this is like the thing that I've stuck at the longest because I genuinely believe it. Like it was such a shift to find radical feminism because I was about 19 when I went searching. I was ready to accept that I was a lesbian. Those pestering memories kept coming back about this girl. I was like, maybe something's going on there. But I went looking for like lesbian stuff. I found like the cotton ceiling stuff. It was literally like a switch overnight. And like it changed my whole perception. And because I love making art so much, I was like, okay, I'm going to marry these concepts. I really want to do this. And I really believe in what I'm saying. And I feel like I've even grown, like my beliefs have gotten more defined and even better as I've grown. And it makes me feel like, okay, there's so many more angles and experiences from women that I can represent and that are like speaking to other women. And also the second thing is that I'm very stubborn and spiteful. So, so getting this backlash where they're like, we're going to harass her until she stops. And I'm like, no, the fuck you're not. I'm going to go even harder. I have to get even more transphobic. My God. So yeah, it's half. I genuinely believe what I'm doing. I love what I'm doing. I love creating art and telling stories, and it feels so cool to have the power of just like, because before it was like I could acknowledge female characters get treated bad and like I wish it was like this, and I'm like, it fucking can be like this, and I'm gonna do it right fucking now.
Yeah.
I can just do it. It's like I wish that the story just had all lesbians. I'm like, it can. And I'm like, oh my God, it can. I can just do that. You're a lesbian, and you're a lesbian. You, that cat, you're a lesbian.
Oprah.gif. You
Yeah,
get a car, and
exactly.
you get a car. And oh, here's a question from 15 Jessica. Was Blair's QT Club introduced for spite?
It was there for critique. The Blair's character has developed so much because originally she wasn't a Gendi. She was just because my first idea was like, I just want to read a cute story. I think it was a prompt for someone's like roleplay where they're like, what if two people ended up having to be roommates? And I was like, I wish there was a story about that for lesbians. Bam. And I was like, there can be. And I was like, but I don't want the characters to get together too fast, so I'm going to give one of them a girlfriend, and I'm going to give the other one breakup issues. Sorry, Jaden. And so Blair was introduced just to stop them from getting together too fast. And at first, she was just sort of like a mean, like you could very much tell she was the like, oh, you're going to be the ex-girlfriend trope. You're the shitty ex trope.
Right.
And then as I had the AGP gang introduced, I was just like, what if she was trans supportive? And there was even a draft where she knew the AGP gang personally. But I scrapped that because like the more attention they got, the more I was like, I fucking hate these guys. They're not coming back. They died or something. I don't know. Like they're just an inciting incident. As soon as they ran off frame, they got hit by a bus or something. So Blair got developed as like this. It would be interesting to have her as a Gendi, Jaden as a complete normie, and Riley as a fence sitter of like she's not quite sure if she agrees, so she's got this sort of back and forth going on. And the QT Club were a way to have more criticism of Gendi stuff without having to bring back the AGP gang, because I just didn't have anywhere to go with those characters. I didn't really like, why would I want to give a bunch of rapists more screen time sort of thing. So I was like, well, why not comment on like female Gendis? Because there's lots of there's lots of more lighthearted stuff to make fun of there. And like I try to be careful. You know, I'm not gonna make fun of none of them transitioned, like medically transitioned and stuff, because I just feel kind of uncomfortable being like, oh, you were fucked over by medicine, aren't you stupid? Like that feels too mean-spirited. So like they're more focused on like, one of them is obsessed with like yaoi, like male manga. One of them is like, I'm gonna be more than a girl. Like there's lots of places to go. One of them's fucking asexual and crazy. Sorry, I'm reading this comment now.
Yeah.
I love how some Gendis claim that Rusty sees as lesser feminine, non-butch female characters because she's against misogynistic beauty standards, but ignore all these characters that have like, they still don't wear makeup or anything, but you know, there's long hair having characters, there's a couple characters that wear dresses or whatever, but it's just not the focus, because that's always the fucking focus. Like these people are allergic to the idea of a reversal. Like they'll be like, she says the men characters aren't important. Imagine if they said that about women characters. Yeah, imagine a world. I can't imagine living in a world like that. Oh, sorry, I'm reading up a story.
But truly, like every media like cast women aside so quickly for like a plot device that like
like getting fridged is a term. And I was like, well, how about we put some men in the fridge? Even though I've only put one of them in there, I'm sort of
getting fridged.
Yeah, getting fridged is like it's like a writing trope where like it's usually like in action movies where it's like, I love my wife so much. Oh my god, she died. Now I'm motivated to go do something. So they get fridged. Thrown in the fridge sort of thing. Even though I've only killed one male character so far. That's my reputation now. She just kills off male characters. And I'm like, my god, I've got to kill off more male characters.
Robin, oh my gosh, says I was on a QT collective type in January of this year. So glad I got better.
Damn. I'm so glad. I mean, it's such a huge change in mindset. So I hope that you are being kind to yourself about your past actions, and I hope that you're finding like-minded women to discuss what you've gone through. That's really awesome. That's really awesome, because I think a lot of us came from there.
So can we expect more mound killings? Which
it won't be the last. He won't be the last for sure. Like I don't want to spoil chapter 12, but I think for the ladies out for male blood, read chapter 12. It reads pretty well on its own. Chapter 12 is a backstory chapter about one of the female characters. She's the head bouncer at the lesbian club. Her name is Shanzi, but all her friends call her Shez. I'm very, very proud of this chapter. I think you will enjoy it a lot.
Oh my god. Good. Robin says she went from non-binary to TERF in the span of one night.
Yeah!
Would love to see it.
Yes, I was the same. It was literally, it felt overnight. Like, obviously, it took me a while to start making changes and stuff, but it was just like, oh my god, my whole worldview has shifted. And like, I was in like a trance-like state for a couple of days. Like, it didn't help that my girlfriend also broke up with me on that same night.
Oh.
Like, I was going to tell her about, I was like, holy crap, I've just read all this stuff and I've got to share it with you. We were just long distance. And I was going to type it to her, and then I got a message. It was the final message I received from her, and she was like, I'm sorry, my parents found my phone. They found out about you. They found out that I'm bisexual. We can't talk anymore. And that was the last I heard from her. Sound familiar to anybody who's read Leafbound? I just be putting my girlfriend trauma in the comic.
Yes. Well, and I've seen a lot of gals in the chat saying it also pretty much happened overnight for them as well, becoming like huge epiphany. And that's the same for me. Like my moment was like I came to radical feminism. Well, this summer will be 11 years, which is crazy. But for me, it was like I was not like a gendy type person, but I was just very like, we should just be kind and
get along.
Yeah. I was that type.
Yeah.
And I've talked about this on my channel before, but I was like hate reading a radical feminist's blog. Every fucking day I would hate read her blog and just be like, how can somebody be so hateful? And then like one post she had, I was like, oh, wait a second. She's saying that trans identified males, they can dress however they want and they can change their names and they can do whatever they want. It's just that they're not women. And I was like, oh, I get it now. And like that was my moment. I was like, oh yeah, okay. They're like only females are women. I get it. But
that does make sense. That do be making sense during it. Yes. Suddenly it's all simpler. Suddenly that little voice in the back of my head that's been like, this is kind of, but I'm not gonna, we should all get along. No. I'm joining the war on transphobia on the side of transphobia. What does that mean? And I say this facetiously because I don't believe in transphobia.
No. Right, let's see.
So I'm just reading all these lovely comments.
I know, so many wonderfully smart, intelligent, amazing women in these chats always, every single time.
Yes.
It's just
makes me
mind-boggling to me. Me too. Okay, so self-belief. Somebody has to have a lot of belief in themselves and their message to keep at this for 6 years. So, like, yeah, how do you do it? How do you know you can do it?
I guess it's just it definitely comes a lot back to the stubbornness and spite, because that's just what kind of person that I am. Like I've told stories about this before, like where I didn't shave in high school. I can't remember. I've said the story where I like bit the boy's shoe off,
the shoe,
my hat. Like I was pretty violent in high school. Yeah, even in high school, you know, I was getting in brawls with boys. So I guess if it's something that I believe in, I guess I make the fortitude happen. Like it is a little bit of fake it till you make it, because like I don't feel doubt in my beliefs, but sometimes I do feel doubt in if I can keep going, because I try to think of like the worst scenarios. What if I get doxxed? What if someone comes to my house? What will I do? And a lot of those things are like, I don't really know. So, but it, like, I can sit with the thoughts and think about them and be like, okay, well, is it worth hiding away? Because that's exactly what they want. They want me to be quiet, and I can't let that happen because not enough women are speaking out yet. I think about everything I've built. I think about all the wonderful women that I've met, And even though there are worst case scenarios, there are best case scenarios as well. And I think the best case scenario is J.K. Rowling becomes a Leafbound fan.
Oh my God.
And then I get
Imagine.
to-
Okay. Whoa. We have got to get everybody who has a Twitter, please tweet at J.K. Rowling right now.
No, that was. But like that
If Rusty says
like
no, then don't. But
I mean, it would be very cool. Just because like I only read Harry Potter as an adult. I'm still not finished reading it, but like just seeing her change, the way she's absolutely flourished, the sharpness of her wit, her tongue and intelligence, the way that she is using her power for good. She is such a cool woman. I would love to meet her, and my wife would like shit herself everywhere because she's a huge Harry Potter fan. But like I try to keep those in mind. It's just like there is bad outcome. There could be bad outcomes. There is also good outcomes, and I have survived every hate thing before. I can do it again. I've been doing it this long. I can keep going because it feels worth it to me. It's worth it for the friends. It's worth it for how rewarding the engagement is. I find it very fulfilling to tell this story. I've improved so much as a writer, as an artist, even as a feminist. I feel like I've grown a lot. So
yes, I agree.
It's worth it. You know, it's worth it to me.
I'm so glad. It's worth it to it's worth it. I mean, there's so many girls and women who appreciate and love it. So
like it's so special to have this niche. Because I I came from a much bigger fandom blog. I mean, some of you, I'm just gonna say it, some of you know, like I was a One Direction fan artist at one time, and like to me, I just see it as like growth. It was just like here I was like watching these boys in a band, and like here I am like 10 years later making art about women and making conscious decisions to prioritize women. To me, that's growth. So
certainly like the skills and like the skills, I guess, that you developed in creating art in that space, like obviously set you up for this, right?
And so it was a large fandom blog. I think I had like 15,000 followers or something like that.
Right.
So it was big. I mean, big fandom, big following. That sort of happened. So it was different switching to this niche, but it's so much more rewarding than what I was doing then, because it's we have such more engaging conversations. It just feels more fulfilling. I'm finally doing something that feels like it's meaningful. It feels like I can leave it behind after I die, and that people might still keep discussing it, even if it's like more niche. Have like the dusty copy of Leafbound and trying to interpret what it all means and be like, what the hell does gender fluid mean in like 200 years? And I'll be like, well, at the time, this is the political significance of what that meant. So yeah, I love it. I love doing what I do. I wish I could do it as a full-time job. Can't at the moment. But that would be maybe. That. Other than meeting J.K. Rowling, that would be being able to like publicly host my book link, like my shop link, so people can just buy it. And I have fun daydreams about like, oh, it'd be cool to like do like book signings at like a convention or stuff like that. Meeting people in person, that'd be really fun. Which is why I'm trying to really support the fans who made the Leafbound Week prompt thing, because I think that starts with fandom. Lily writing it down.
Lily, no, that's as an inside joke between me and Lily, because she's got a list of Radical Ramblings lore. So she's adding this to the list.
I see.
I mean,
you can
8
grow.
or 9 years ago we were, right?
Yeah, you can grow. You can grow.
Exactly.
If you can come, and it's like I was capitulating to gender nonsense, even though I didn't fully believe in it. Like people were like, "Oh, what are your pronouns?" And I'd be like, "Oh, like I don't mind what you call me, he, she, they. Like it doesn't matter." And to me, the reasoning was like, well, because I know what my sex is. It shouldn't really matter to you. I'm fucking drawing fan out of One Direction. Why does it matter if I'm a man or a woman?
Right.
Like, doesn't matter. But I reblogged posts supporting prostitution and pornography and
Right.
BDSM. I called people fucking period havers. It's just like, if you can go from the depths of cringe to here, like, if I can do it, you can do it. You know, even if it's a journey, even if it's not overnight.
Yep. Oh, so funny. Okay, it's One Direction. That album, the last album, Made in the AM, is a good damn album. Actually,
Floor's
I
pretty good
stand by
too.
it. All of their albums are good. So.
They're bops, dude.
Yes! Come for me. I don't care.
And I mean, the
what's
fandom was so fun because it's mostly women.
Yeah,
And women
exactly.
make
Like,
fandoms. Women make fandoms. Like, they're so funny and creative and just,
yes,
you know.
exactly. Exactly. Okay, what's next for Leasebound? What's the future?
Like I said before, I am getting the funds together to do the third volume published.
Yay!
I have like a teaser cover on the website. Again, it's under the LB print copy section. I am currently working on the 13th chapter. Again, gearing towards that 500th page of Leasebound. It's coming up soon.
Exciting.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this 13th chapter because it is a ballroom dancing lesson that's taking place at the lesbian club. I'm sort of expanding what the lesbian club does. I'm imagining that like
Aw.
sometimes it's set up like a nightclub, but other times it's set up for like ballroom dancing or musicians because the owner of the club, Ruth, who is like a grouchy old butch lesbian,
Yes,
and the fans love
we
her
love
for it.
her.
Yeah, she built the club with her own two hands as a way to like have a safe place to
Mhm.
dance with her wife and for other women to dance. So she still hosts these dance lessons, and there's hijinks because they're very female only. But the Jendi Blair, she's going to be attending the ballroom dancing, and everyone's in like fun ballroom gear, and it's basically what I would like to do. I'd love to go ballroom dancing with my wife, and it just to be all women. We did once go to a class that was to learn how to do partner dancing because I was like, oh, that'd be like really fun to be able to do if because we eloped. But if we ever
Yeah.
did like I guess a vow renewal, like a celebration with
Mhm.
family or something like that, it'd be fun to be able to like dance together properly. And we went and it was all straight people and like they kept trying to get me to like join the women's line. I'm like, I'm not dancing with some random dudes that I don't know. And my wife
Ooh.
was the same. So we were like off to the side just trying to learn the steps and like dancing by ourselves, and they didn't
Aw.
like that, so we ended up leaving. And I was like, man, it'd be cool if you could just dance with women, if only.
If only.
Uh,
When are you paying Robin's therapy bills?
the thing about that, I have to go water my cat back.
Water my cat. Oh my god.
But yes, very, very excited. Happy to take any questions that you ladies have in this thank you moment. Free time is my favorite time because I get
Yes.
to be silly.
Shine.
Um,
What are you doing with the rest of your day? It's morning there.
it is morning. Look, I'm probably am gonna be working on Leasebound pages. I'm doing a bunch of coloring. Probably do some chores, do some laundry, do a bit of gardening. Yeah, I've been freed from the enclosure. I'm gonna water the fuck out of my garden.
Woo!
I've been growing some geranium flowers, which I believe they count as like
Aw.
a succulent, so they don't need that much, but it's been pretty dry at the moment, so gonna enjoy doing that. But yeah, mostly I'll be working on Leasebound because I'm not a workaholic Arbastorm. It's because how do you prep to write? I usually get an initial idea for something, like in terms of Leasebound, it's usually like a plot point. I'm like, ooh, that would be really cool if that happened. I'm gonna write that down. And then I'm like, okay, what needs to happen before then to make this happen? And so I'll usually do some like really rough dot pointing until I can work out the specifics. There's usually I usually get a very specific feel for the dialogue, like things that I really want to be said, and then I'll chuck into the script format and draw it.
Very cool.
So yeah, it's you. I feel like I've trained my brain to get better at over time. I keep my notes app handy. It's full of like ideas. Not all of them get made.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, Robin, do you have any advice for someone seeking to make? Yes, do it. Do it.
Just do it.
Do it. Like, do it scared. Do it without knowing the ending. Do it. I mean, I'd be more than happy. I don't know if you were in the Discord that you and I are in for like the streaming. I'd be
No.
happy to give you like some more specific advice on like where to host it, what programs to use, anything like that. But my main advice is do it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
do it. There needs to
And
be like more women making stuff for sure.
yeah, and don't worry about like if you're super talented artist or whatever.
Mhm,
Like, just do
mhm.
it. Do it
You'll grow. You'll
perfectly.
grow.
Do it badly. Do it in any way you can.
Yeah, you'll grow into it. Oh, she doesn't know about the server.
Yes.
Um,
Oh yeah, there's a server that somebody like created. It's not my server. I'm just a member of it.
okay.
But yeah, it's up to
I
her
got
if she
myself
wants
twisted
to.
on that.
That's okay. No, it's all good.
Robin, if you wanted to chat on Discord or something, if you leave a comment on Leasebound with like a real email, I'll chuck you my Discord thingy.
Perfect.
Yeah. I just gotta be
okay.
careful about handing it out.
Yes. You want to get in touch with Rusty, leave a comment on Leasebound. And what Rusty?
And just fill in like an actual email so I can chuck you my my Discord so we can chat that way, or we can chat by email. Either or. Sorry, just also reading the chat. Gull, how do you keep from overthinking the dialogue and descriptors? No way to not do that. Sometimes it's going to happen. I find it's very good to have other women read your work as sounding boards. Arbostorum, Plummy Plum in the chat, both are women that I talk to on a regular basis about Leasebound. I'll drop things on them. Arbostorum has been absolutely instrumental in helping hone my art and making things simpler because I I work harder, not smarter a lot of the time. So she's been beating that out of me. And Plummy Plum has been really helpful for story beats. I show lots of things to her and I'm like, hey, I have this idea where this is what I want to come across, but I don't know how to get there. So even just having like sounding boards, or if you don't have someone to be a sounding board, I find that if you're writing like notes for a story, leave yourself questions. Like, how is that going to happen? How is she going to say that? Why is she going to say that? And then come back to it later. Your brain will come up with it. It's it can't do it all at once perfectly.
Awesome.
Yeah, no worries, Robin.
Oh my goodness, why is my computer doing this to me right now? Doesn't have much to do with Leasebound, but do you have any advice for young rad femmes? Like stuff you wish you knew when you first became a rad femme? Ooh.
Yes. Okay. So, do not dwell on your past. Who you are before radical feminism and who you are after, it doesn't really matter. What is more important is the actions that you're taking. That's the same as like, don't worry that you're not like doing everything that everybody's criticizing all at once. It can be pretty overwhelming. Sometimes coming to Radler and stuff, it doesn't feel like entering another fandom. It feels like you're coming into like a workplace with like colleagues. So you don't have like that same like learning rapport all the time. So it feels, for me, it was like a lot of lurking and reading and understanding and seeing how they argued and stuff. So yeah, don't be hard on yourself. Chill, you're fine. And I guess in terms of, and this is something I'm totally guilty of, but don't give gendies the time of day. Don't. Because I think at the time when I was first getting hate, I was publishing a lot of it because I felt like people need to see this. This is the proof that they're being absolute shitheads. And like I still sort of understand that thought process of like you don't want to be dealing with it alone. You want to be like keeping documents and receipts or whatever. But
Right.
after a certain point, it's just like I've seen everything they fucking said. They haven't said anything new in years. It's
Right.
not worth it. Like not giving them that attention is so much better. And like yeah, like I said, I've definitely fallen into this where I was like being like a funny comedy hour woman where I would, you know, dunk on them. And even then, like maybe I should have done that less because then maybe I
Right.
wouldn't have some very like obsessive gendies following me. But it's a learning thing. But yeah, mostly just don't be too hard on yourself. Just don't be afraid to learn, to ask questions, to even disagree. And I think try your best to offer that same grace to other women because other
Mm-hmm.
women aren't always going to say what you agree with. Sometimes, and I'm not talking about like, you know, like if they're racist, they're racist. Fuck them. You don't associate. But
Yeah.
like again, like don't engage. Like
Women who are learning.
yeah, women who are learning are not always going to say the correct things. That you can just you don't have to engage with them, but that's the kind of grace that I'm talking about. You can just leave it. You can just leave their blog. You don't have to think about it. You're like, wow, that's a completely different perspective. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I'm gonna leave. I think it's just better.
Yeah. I was gonna say something. Oh yeah. Yeah, when you said like don't give the gendies the time of day, definitely don't. And instead focus your attention and your energy on connecting with other women or
Hmm.
doing things to support other women.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Um,
Yep.
to the gal who asked what Hogwarts houses the least found ladies
Oh.
are, I would have to consult my wife again because she's the Harry Potter expert. She has assigned them all houses. I think Arvistorum actually documented it somewhere on her blog. But I am not the person to ask about that because I'm not a Harry Potter expert. But yeah, like back on the gendies, like sorry, I'm just reading the chat sort of sporadically. Yeah, they're always going to shift the goalpost. There's always going to be something else. I think I spent a lot of time worrying that like I haven't always behaved perfectly. There's been times that I've been immature or juvenile or overly
Mhm.
hostile or made bad arguments and stuff. But it's like at the end of the day, sex is still real. You are correct on that. Gender stuff is still homophobic and misogynistic. You got to make peace with that. You're going to be misinterpreted, especially by gendies. They are going to try and find things about you to shut you up. It's all part of the process, unfortunately.
Too
But
true.
yeah, be easy on yourself and try to understand where other women are coming from. Yes, hostile lesbian supremacy, absolutely. Here. We're all unanimously voting on that. I'll put it forward in the minutes.
Oh, thanks, Lily. Please like the
Oh.
stream. It's so awful how red films are pushed to be perfectly diplomatic and peaceful all the time to avoid feeding into the stereotypes, only for it not to work.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't matter how nice you are.
Mhm.
It really doesn't.
Nope.
I remember one of my call out posts was like a screenshot of me saying to someone go fall down a flight of stairs and like she incited this violence. Meanwhile, I've got, you know, people in my DMs who are like, you know, get raped, hope your wife gets killed, slit your throat, get fucked on a big rusty steak or whatever the fuck. So
Ugh.
you can't win with these people. People like on the gendy side, and I guess it goes for all people. People do not change their minds unless they want to. There has to be an active component in changing your mind, and it is not your job to change it for them. You can keep being a good example. You can keep
Yeah.
engaging with women who are interested, but you don't actually have to engage with them.
Good advice.
Mm-hmm.
Very
And yeah,
good.
don't be afraid of being rude. Don't be afraid to like soften what you're saying. Just say it. They're gonna hate it either way.
Lily says
Yes.
ditch the nice and embrace being a rude femme.
Yeah.
Cute. Yeah, JKR is always so always so nice and articulate, and people still refuse to read what she says and treat her like the
Yeah.
worst person on earth. So
She's
yeah,
so
exactly.
classy.
She's so classy, so measured, so gentle, and it doesn't matter. So like,
Mhm.
fuck it,
No.
right?
Even though she's like certainly, I've loved watching her growth from like the first time, like I think she got caught, she liked
Liking something.
I believe it was a Magdalene Burns video or tweet,
Yeah,
and
it
then she
was.
took it back, and then she came out with this like very kind, gentle kid glove essay, be like, I support trans people, I
Mhm.
also do not support misogyny, and they're like, Nazi, killer. So
Mhm.
like it doesn't matter. It does not matter. How nice you are. So yeah, letting go of that is especially hard, I think, because women are
We're
already
women,
like,
yeah.
yeah, socialized to be polite and not take up space and not be rude and not be mean and watch our tone and consider everyone else's feelings before our own. It's just like you got to break out of that. You got to swing hard in the other direction sometimes to get out of it.
Yep. Yeah,
Absolutely, Lee. It's because we're not capitulating. That is the reason.
yep. It is indeed. JKR in 2025 telling people to read Dorkin on Maine. Let's
Yeah.
hope, right?
She's
I
such
mean,
a queen.
she really has gone full turf on Maine
Mhm,
though. Like she used to just tweet like a little thing here or a little thing there, and then she would disappear for a while.
mhm.
But now
Now
she
she's like,
is like
tough day every day. Tough, tough, tough.
literally, she does not give a fuck, and that's what happens when you're a billionaire. You don't have to care.
Mhm.
Well, she's not
So
a billionaire actually. She gave away so much
yeah,
money that she lost her billionaire status. But still,
yeah, she's
she
decently
is
protected.
yeah, she does not care and she is going all out and it's pretty damn cool to see. Peak the masses,
Yes.
queen.
Yes. Also, Sarah,
Oh,
who says, as a
Sarah.
19-year-old girl, it's hard for me to stand up for myself. I always just feel like I'm evil, the worst person. Sweetheart, you are 19. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right.
Yeah,
Forgive yourself. You're 19. You are still growing. Your brain is not fully developed yet. You have very little adult experience. And I'm not saying this to be condescending to you. I'm saying it
yeah.
to you. Be kind to yourself. Okay. No, none of us here will judge a 19-year-old for finding it hard to stand up for herself. It is very hard.
No.
You are just coming into adulthood and there is so much room for you to grow.
Yes.
Don't be hard
And
on yourself.
it
That's
it's
part
a
of standing up for
it's
yourself. Oh,
something
sorry.
that takes practice too. Like you
Mm-hmm.
can't just be good at it immediately. It takes practice and the more you do it, the more you'll get comfortable with it and
Mm-hmm.
the more you'll feel better about doing it. So take your time. It's okay. It is
Yeah,
okay.
absolutely. Yeah, don't
Mm,
that's all part of it. That's all part of the self-confidence.
yeah.
Yeah, I
And
was
it says,
19 when I was finding tough stuff to begin with.
yeah,
But I feel like I am an outlier in that I'm a very stubborn confrontational person, so that can't be everybody.
yeah. Well, same. I'm not afraid of conflict or confrontation at all. I mean, I think for different reasons because like you obviously have had to deal with so much of it coming at you. And for
Hmm.
me, like when it comes to my job, like I just could not afford to not be confrontational when I have to be.
Yeah.
Um, so but I wasn't always comfortable doing that. Like there was a
Mm-mm.
time where I would really defer to my coworkers to do it, and I didn't
Yeah.
want to. But it just takes practice and takes time, and eventually you'll be okay.
Yeah. And sometimes it's about choosing between your safety, like is it worth it
Yeah,
to
pick
make
your
a stink
battles.
here? Like is it and that is a learning process too. I've certainly chosen
Mhm.
times where that was not the best option on my choice, but I chose violence anyway. It's a learning process and you have to be able to forgive yourself for it. It's okay. You're
Yeah.
human and you're very young. And I say this as like I know lots of people probably say I'm very young too, so I've also got room to grow. I turned 28 this year, so
It's okay.
yeah. I
I'll
think that was
be
the age you were when we met. And I was
you must
calling you
be
an old. I called
an
you my
elder
older lesbian
lesbian
friend.
at my ripe age of 28.
Yeah,
Now
it
I'm
has
almost
happened to me now.
36.
Yeah, blessed.
Yep. I'm closer to 40 than 30 now.
Woo!
That's wild.
40 party.
Yes. I know. It's
Wiser,
been.
better.
So you were 19 when we really became friends?
Yeah.
So now you're 28. So yeah, 9 years then.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. I know,
Look at
right? It's
us.
crazy. Yeah, 28 Club.
Great, great, great. Congrats for making it past the 27 club.
Yeah.
Have
Oh,
you heard
yeah,
of that?
true.
So many
Yes,
celebrities dying at age 27.
yes. Though I was busy fighting my mother's own 27 Club, where she was telling me that once you hit 27, you have like a feverish desire to have children. And I was like, what are you gonna do now? No babies.
Nana's also an 80s baby.
Wow, what was it like in the 80s?
I was born at the end of the 80s in
Yeah, I
88,
guess.
but the 90s were great. I remember the 90s very
I
well.
I wish I remembered the night. I'm technically because I was born 96, but I don't remember
Oh,
the
yeah,
90s, you know?
barely.
Like the 2000s were my childhood, so
Crazy. Back when the dinosaurs roamed the earth, honestly.
lots of
This is
mullets, this plum plume. And now
this
they're
is so
back.
cute. They are back, yeah. Light
Oh,
Female says, this gives me hope for connecting with rad femmes. Finding out that Rusty was close to my age in radical feminist spaces makes me not feel so alone. And that's
yeah.
like really the whole point of like all of this, right? Your
Mhm. Yeah.
comic, my channel, having these live chats where people can connect with each other, like
Yeah.
not feeling so alone, knowing there are women out there who think like you, who believe like you,
Mhm.
and it's gonna
And
be
like all
okay.
over the world too.
All over the
Like
world, yeah.
it's like there may be oceans between us, but we agree. We be agreeing. And yeah, that's definitely how I feel about like the website and stuff. It's like a place where women can come and you can just speak your mind. It's fine. You just say it and you're safe.
Yeah.
Because I'm running the website, so you know, you're not gonna get banned. Or anything like that. It's really nice. I'm glad I can be someone's that. Because it was definitely
Mm.
the women. It was definitely the rad femmes of Tumblr. Like you know, shout out to Auntie Wanda, like a whole bunch of
Auntie
other
Wanda?
like yes.
I
She's so
know.
cool. She's
Yeah.
so like her arguments were just like holy shit. This woman is so smart and she is
Yeah.
funny and she is just like handing these gendies their asses like fucking pancakes. It was like so cool. I was like, whoa, I want to be like her when I grow up.
So
So yeah,
awesome.
yeah, it's just
So
it's just paying it forward.
yeah. Yeah, finding community is so important. The majority of women are liberal feminists or aren't feminists who align with
Hmm.
patriarchy, and it is lonely when you reject that. Yeah. I want to
Yeah,
be like the mean femmes too, honestly.
you can. You can. Yeah, there was some like I remember the shift I made where, you know, I would see I guess what were called rude femmes and
Yeah.
cuz at the time I was sort of saying like you know, trans women are men and then or they're male, like their male body, like I was tipping my toes into the water slowly and then there
Yeah,
was
yeah,
these
yeah.
women who were just coming out swinging. They're like, fucking bedicked individual. You're a fucking male. You lived male. You were born male. You'll die male.
Die,
You're
male.
balding. You're ugly. You're stupid. And I was just like, oh. And at
You
first
can
I was
say
like,
that?
at first I was like, well, I'll never do that. That's a little too mean. um
Iconic.
yeah, it's like, well, I won't go that far. It's good to know that there's a boundary and I just won't cross it. Yeah, that didn't last. So
Oh, somebody wants to see Faith's puffy afro.
oh, thank you. I just
Her
wanted
Jaden
to
cut. Oh,
yeah, yes, because I drew her once with longer hair to like signify it was
yeah.
previous time. I mean, it might come back. Uh, I'll consider it, Ratty Puppet. I'll consider it. Because she cut her hair to look like Jaden because she has a big baby crush on her.
That's so cute.
which is allowed when you're a 10-year-old lesbian. It's actually allowed, and it's not pedophilia. I can't believe I have to keep saying that. I'm still not over it. Like, it's apparently a comment that's been prevalent in the hate YouTube video as well. They're like, she's too young to be a lesbian. I'm like, what the fuck did you just fucking say to me? Too young to be a lesbian. You're a lesbian as a fetus, you dumb shit.
Right.
Sorry.
This like
way. They forgot the born this way. Like, they want to get away from it so bad, except if it's trans, because you can be a trans like 5-year-old or whatever, but if you're a lesbian 10-year-old who has a crush on like a heartthrob lesbian like Jaden, which is obviously not going to go anywhere, but you know, preaching to the choir. Yeah, too young to be a lesbian, never too young to be trans. Apparently.
So gross. Yeah, like I didn't maybe know the language to describe what I was at a young age, but like I had crushes on girls. I knew I liked girls.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, absolutely. But I just thought, like, for a while, I can't remember. I've told this story, but like I was 12, and I wrote a letter to my mom that I was going to run away because I kept having these strange feelings towards women. And like found them very beautiful and attractive and stuff. And she found the letter and she's like, oh, let's like sit down and have a talk about it. But unfortunately, her advice was, she was like, well, all women think other women are attractive. I'm a straight woman and I think women are beautiful, and you can think that, and that doesn't make you gay. And so like I really clung to that for a while. Or I was just like, it's not gay. I'm just appreciating women. Women are just more attractive than men. It's just how it is. Like everybody is just not saying that men are unattractive because that would be mean. We're all playing it up. Yes. Any yeses?
Indeed.
But yes. I definitely knew something was going on. Yeah, too young to think girls are pretty. Like coming out to my dad was, yeah, I'm gay, by the way. That's
sitting across from him on the couch.
Yeah, awkward. I think that's how it was with my mom as well, because I had a girlfriend at that point, and then I sort of told her, I was like, look, I think it's just women for me. I don't want to be with men. And she, I think I'm a lesbian, and she said, yeah, I know. So even though she gave me this terrible advice at 12, she was like, yeah, I've known since you were like 3. But her reasoning is very strange. So I don't know. My mom's just saying some crazy shit. This is the woman who thinks the moon is alive, but she thought she had the first thought that I was a lesbian at 3, apparently, because I was bossing the little boys in the playpen around. She was like, that seems like lesbian behavior. I'm like, that's not what that means. But you know what? You're straight. You say stupid shit sometimes. You gotta let it go. This is a picking my battles moment. I used to not pick my battles so much. But yes. Wait, I'm describing the split attraction. Oh, Rusty is. I hate the split attraction model.
Yeah, it's a joke.
Yeah. Because I guess that is the conceit of them not liking Faith, because they're like, well, you're saying she's a homosexual female, and the sexual part obviously means how much sex she wants to have, and it's like, no, it doesn't. No. She has a baby crush on Jaden. Her idea of romance is like showing Jaden her Happy Potter books, because she learned that Jaden also likes Happy Potter.
Only the real ones.
Yeah, go check out our last stream. I think it was the meme hangout. It was a story about my mom where it was revealed that she thinks the moon is alive. She's a real
skip over the moon.
Yeah, you had to be there. You'll also get Radical's amazing gray bat story. Just go check out the I still think about it. Don't. I've never been able to unthink it.
Oh, me neither. It's been like 19 years.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I had to live through that.
I'm soz. Good point, Arbistorm. I'm a straight woman, and other straight women do try to normalize the idea they aren't into men, but it's because women are supposed to not be shallow to want to be attracted to men. Yeah, exactly. That also doesn't help. Like, how many like sitcoms and like jokes there are where like, oh, I like have to fake a headache because I don't want to fuck my husband or stuff like that. So it doesn't help with the idea of like where you can just sort of obscure your attraction. You're like, oh yeah, that must be what it is. Yeah, and everyone's just not saying the part where they want to like kiss women out loud. Everyone's just not saying that bit. That's what it is.
Lore homework.
Yeah.
Oh God. Whoops. What?
Oh my God, Tita, please make an animatic of that. That would be so fucking funny. That would be that would be so good. I would laugh. I would laugh so good.
This is the famous Rusty.
Oh, thank you. Bless. Infamous.
Her.
I prefer infamous. My pronouns are transphobic.
Sorry.
Oh yeah. Ratty. Yeah, people have been because I reference I don't use true brand names, but I use the Happy Potter as my allusion by KJ Rowling in Leasebound, and the amount of like sexual comments about that, they're exactly like the one you just described. Like someone's like, oh, you're riding JK's dick, and like, oh, you're really like getting on your knees for JK, and it's just like, ew, why would you fucking say that? Could you not be disgusting?
No, they can't.
No, they really can't. But yeah, that's very common, unfortunately. It's just, and they, get straight up deleted. Again, it's not even the worst thing. I can't even remember if I've talked about this on stream, but once a hater pretended to be a rad femme, and she pretended that she wanted to send me some fan art privately because she was afraid to like post it publicly. And I was like, yeah, of course you can send it to me.
Oh God.
And it was a picture of my lesbian character Riley performing fellatio on the AGP gang. So these people know exactly, like they know exactly what they're doing. Like they knew why that would be upsetting. I've never like talked about it. Yeah, I've never talked about it much because I didn't want to give her the credence. I have a pretty good idea if it was. But it just, this is and I try and remind myself of that when I'm thinking about like, oh, I could have been nicer. I could have been this. I could have been that. I could have been less juvenile. I could have taken this seriously. It's just like, yeah, these are the people who sent me that. So, yeah,
it shows the quality of their character.
Absolutely.
And the thing is they're doing shit like that and they think it makes them the good guy. Like,
yeah.
Baffling.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just total swerve into funny town with Robin. Rusty can't be bothered to care about trans issues when she has more important issues like gluing Velcro to the bottom of her shoes so that she doesn't fall off a kangaroo. Fighting kangaroo. I would never fight a kangaroo because I would lose. I've never had to fight one though. I grew up in a small country town for part of my life, and I've sent you videos when I revisited there, Radical, where there's just kangaroos hanging out like in people's front yards, and they're just hopping about. You keep your distance because it's a wild animal, but it's not, it's pretty pedestrian. But I feel the same when you send me videos of deer. I'm like, oh, it's Bambi, because we don't have those here.
Yeah, exactly. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Are there any like deer-like creatures in Australia, like that are native to Australia?
No, I've seen a deer in a zoo, but no, I don't think so. Like,
that's so funny to me to think of deer in a zoo.
That's how I feel about kangaroos
on my driveway right now.
Oh, that's crazy. I would be so like, people always go on about how Australia is the scariest place because of snakes and spiders and whatever. But you have fucking bears and moose walking around. I would just die if I saw one in real life.
I mean, to be fair, I would be afraid to see a moose as well. I've seen one one time only. But I've seen plenty of bears. They're fine.
Oh, no, they're not fine. They're big, walking, evil. Oh, well, they're better than men. But I still wouldn't want to be with one. That's the conceit of the question. Oh, yeah, no squirrels either. Bear, obviously. I'd still choose bear. I would choose
Yeah.
fucking yeah. I would choose a lot of things over being in a forest with a man. Ugh, no. Um,
Would you rather be alone in a forest with a bear or a
kangaroo, kangaroo, kangaroo.
Oh my
Because
god.
I can climb a tree away from a kangaroo. The bear's coming up after me. The kangaroo don't be climbing so good. So
Okay, now kangaroo or man?
kangaroo easily, even like a big old man boomer kangaroo, like still him over man. Because at least it'll just kick me to death.
Oh,
Bears are
fair
not
enough.
fine. This is propaganda.
I don't mind bears.
Ratty puppet kangaroos can be jacked, but that's just like the big male ones. They don't all look like that. I have seen like the jacked kangaroo images. They don't all like that. There's lots of places you can go, like wildlife parks where they're roaming around and you have like a bag of pellets and you can go feed them. And yes, boomer is slang for kangaroo, big old man kangaroo. And yeah, so I've fed lots of kangaroos. They're very friendly. They love having their chests scritched. They're really cute. I prefer wallabies. Wallabies are more based because they're more proportionate. Because kangaroos are kind of like donkey ass looking weird hybrid of like three creatures, but wallabies are small and fat and so
Oh.
cute.
You know what's the best Australian animal?
Oh, which one? Are you gonna say quokka?
Yes!
They are very cute.
Quokkas!
I
They're
have never met
so
a
cute.
quokka in
Oh,
person.
they're so cute. Okay, now we have to Google deep dive.
Yes, please. Bandicoots are really cute as well. Bandicoots are Australian.
Bandicoots!
Bilbies are
That's just a...
Australian.
Bandicoots are a video game character.
Yes, that is Crash Bandicoot is set in Australia.
I know. I
He's
remember
kidnapping.
when you told me for the first time that a bandicoot was a real animal. I was like,
Yeah!
pardon?
And you're like, he's not just an orange pants wearing radical guy from the 90s. Like, no, he's a real guy.
Look at the quokkas.
Yeah, they are very
so
cute. They're just a little
cute.
because I believe they don't have any natural predators in the island where people often take photos of them, so they're very
Yeah.
chill.
I don't know why my internet is so slow.
Why y'all too scared of bears though? They almost always just attack when they feel themselves or their cubs are threatened. Just scream like a psycho to save them. I don't know, dude. I don't know.
I'm dying. After stream or and some Googling Australian animals. Listen, okay, now we have to look at a bandicoot. Bandicoot.
They're super cute.
My internet for some reason is being
So there's just
yeah.
and there's Crash next to it. It's like you didn't like real like you didn't because he was apparently he could have been like they assigned him a creature after they designed him, so he was either going to be like an ottset, a wombat, or a bandicoot, and they're like, bandicoot sounds cool. I can't remember. I remember.
How do you spell that?
I have no idea. I've only heard it spoken. It's probably some other fucking small animal.
Is it an Australian animal?
I'm not sure. I heard it in like I was watching a lore video about Crash Bandicoot, and they're like,
he was an oddset, chat.
I don't know, dude. I might have misheard it. American accents are sometimes I don't know.
Or
what
do you mean an ocelot?
Maybe. No, it wouldn't have been that. Oh, that's cute as fuck, dude.
Yes, they are, aren't they? Look at this baby one. Big eyes.
Once a month ritual of figuring out whether or not Australia exists. It's real. We're really here, and we're just chilling, dude. That's like so fucking cute.
Before we started streaming, I was talking to Rusty, and I was telling her I was looking at Australia on Google Maps, and near-ish to where Rusty lives, there's an island that's literally called Kangaroo Island.
Yeah, it's a huge tourist attraction, Kangaroo Island. And my wife chimed in, there's more wallabies there than kangaroos. You guys should all come to Australia. We could have a hangout. That'd be really fun. Yeah, there's a lot of AGPs here, but you went to Melbourne, Nana. You could have come to Adelaide and seen me, but you didn't. And I'll never forgive you.
Okay. Robin is saying, look up Viscachas. Oh, God.
What's the best sunscreen brand? Well,
Slip,
here's
slap,
some more... well, slip, slap, slop is like the Cancer Council song. It's like you gotta slip, slap, slop, slip on a shirt, slop on some sunscreen and slap on a hat, and don't die of skin cancer. But I actually don't wear a lot of sunscreen. I think I just wear the Cancer Council brand one. But another fun rusty mother-law. When we were growing up, we lived in Queensland, which is the place with the highest rates of skin cancer in the world. And in school camps, when we would often go to the beach, one of the things was like, bring a sleeping bag, bring a hat, bring sunscreen. My mom was against sunscreen. She was like, there's too many chemicals in there. I'm not putting that on your skin. She told us that we were allergic to sunscreen, and she would get a bottle of sunscreen, empty it out, and put moisturizer in there instead to like please the school. So like we went sunscreen free for like the first 20 years of my life.
Oh my God, your mother.
Yeah, and basically until I met my wife, and I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure I'm allergic to sunscreen. She's like, have you tried zinc? Which is like really good, allergen free. It's like one of the Aussie stereotypes is like when you're at the beach, you'll see someone with like a colored stripe over their nose. It's the zinc sunscreen. Yeah. And yeah, I didn't react to it. I wasn't allergic. So there you go.
Look at this creature.
Wolverine. I mean, Hugh Jackman, who played Wolverine, is Australian. Yes. I don't know if Wolverine is actually Australian.
Let's look at some Wolverines.
Is it an animal? I thought he was just a guy.
No, they're an animal.
Oh! Reverse Bandicoot
Wolverine
moment.
is canonically Canadian, by the way.
But he's played by Hugh Jackman, so he's Australian.
Yes. Yeah, these are
he looks so disgusting.
Okay, let's get rid of Hugh Jackman. These are Wolverines.
Oh, it's kind of cute.
Well, if you don't,
I like the comparison picture next to him. It's like this used to be this. Like they look nothing alike. I'm assuming they have sharp claws.
Yeah, they're a North American animal.
Listen, Ratty Puppet. My mother has many flaws. I love her dearly. She didn't always make the best decisions. Sunscreen was one of them. Yeah, this is now a Bandicoot moment. I legit did not know this was an animal.
Yeah, Wolverine is a real animal.
Is that all? Oh, they are kind of cute though.
Yeah, they are. They're just savages.
I would pat this. Are these sort of like badgers? Like they're a predator type animal?
Oh, yes.
They look cute? Okay. I'd love to see a badger too. I've never seen, I did visit America briefly, but I didn't get to see a raccoon. I did get to see a deer outside, and I did get to see a squirrel, which was very exciting.
I have seen many a raccoon.
See, you say honey badger, Corey. We don't, sorry, I called you Corey, but anyway. You say honey badger, and I think of the stupid fucking Bachelor contestant that we had who was ugly as sin a couple years ago, and everybody called him the honey badger. And I remember
I think about my favorite F1 driver because his nickname is a honey badger.
Oh, okay. Apparently it's just like a thing.
And he's Australian, which is funny.
Oh, there you go. Maybe it's just a thing we fucking say here, and I'm just not up on the lingo. He was, the guy on the Bachelor was like some fucking ugly footballer, and I was trying to prove this to my gay male bestie because he's a Tem or whatever. Yeah, look at him, he's so ugly. And there was 20 women pretending that he was worth marrying, and I showed my gay friend a picture of him because he was like everywhere. He was doing like stupid underwear commercials, like you couldn't fucking escape him. And I was like, look at this ugly guy they put on The Bachelor, and he was just like, I don't know, kind of feeling. I'm like, I have no respect for you. Oh, man, or cassowary for sure.
Too funny. Yeah, every season of The Bachelor.
Yeah, it was just like
what I learned
very
recently?
ugly. Oh yeah,
hedgehogs are native indigenous to the UK.
Oh,
and wild hedgehogs are just walking around in people's gardens.
That would be so cute. I'd love to meet a hedgehog.
Me too. Just chilling in the garden. Oh,
they're like so they're like cuter echidnas.
Yeah, echidnas are not the super
They're
cutest.
kind of ugly, but
What's
I
that
still
other
like them.
one? A
Wombat,
bilby.
bilby, yeah, bilby. Bilbies
When
look
you
a lot
told
like
me about
yeah, the law where like we have chocolates of this guy around Easter because rabbits are an invasive species, so
yeah,
they
we have
try
the
to
Easter bunny. You have the
yeah,
Easter bilby.
at least tried to push the Easter bilby. It wasn't super successful because Cadbury still releases like chocolate bunnies and stuff.
Right.
Bunnies are still the predominant, but there are some like hardcore like it should be that Easter bilby. Like I distinctly remember in school having to fill out mazes where it's like save the bilby from the evil bunnies, and like some of the dead ends in the maze were bunnies like looking evil. Um, ooh, is
A
that
jerboa.
like an Aussie hopping mouse? This is what it looks like.
It's a
That's
jerboa.
cute. Looks like a fucking Pokemon.
They're found in North Africa and Asia. Yeah, it does look like a
Platypuses,
Pokemon.
platypi are real animals, Ratty. They're endangered. I've never seen one in person. They're a lot smaller than you think they are, though.
Oh, these things are so cute.
They are real, though. They are a
Also,
monotreme.
the what's that possum? Australian
Oh,
possums.
the ringtail
They are
possum. Yeah, there you go.
so oh,
Yeah, they're adorable. Yeah, that one with
painfully
like
cute.
that one with the baby on the back. We
Yeah.
once went to an island resort to stay. I think it was for one of my siblings' birthdays.
Oh,
We
they're just
stayed there, and
sweet.
like the island was full of them. It was crawling with these little guys, and my one of them actually broke into our room, and my mum was actually breastfeeding one of my siblings who was like just freshly born, and the mum possum came up and laid with her and started feeding her baby next to her. It was a very
Aw.
interesting experience. Cross species female solidarity. I don't know. It was very interesting. And
Yes.
I called her Heidi. And because we lived in the town that was across from the island. So whenever we would see the island on the way to school, I would wave and say, "Hi, Heidi." Because your American
Hi.
possums are crazy.
Yeah, American possums are crazy. Dingoes, of course,
Dingoes
obviously.
are not native to Australia, but
Really?
they are very cute. Yeah, no. They were brought over. I mean, like they've been here for thousands and thousands of years, but they
Right.
originated in Asia. And whenever I show
Oh.
them to Arbor she's like, "It's a Shiba Inu," like the Japanese
Yeah,
dogs with
yeah.
the curly tail, and I'm like, "That's
Okay.
it's different. There's a predator. You wouldn't pet this
Yeah.
dog." But they are very cute.
I as a child, I had a dog who was an Australian red heeler, and she looked exactly
Oh,
like a dingo, like exactly
yeah,
like these.
it's very common to have crosses.
Yes.
Robin, I have held many koalas. They're very cute, but I will diss on them all day. Chlamydia having,
Also,
fucking
they're
eucalyptus
dum-dums,
leaf
right?
eating. They're so dumb. Fucking smooth brain idiots who will, like, I've
Tell
said
us
this
how you really
before.
feel.
Yeah, they eat only eucalyptus leaves because their name, I can't remember which Aboriginal language, which Indigenous Australian language it is, but koala means no water because they do not drink water. They only eat eucalyptus leaves, which are
Which are
not very
poisonous.
good for them. They are not nutritious. And if you were to put a koala in a room with eucalyptus leaves, but you picked them all off the branch, it wouldn't eat them and it would die.
Oh, but look at how cute they are. Look at his little face.
Oh, sorry,
They're just
Abastorm. I swear it was you. I think you
like his
agreed with
little
the Shiba
meat.
Inu propaganda. They are very cute. Their claws are very sharp,
I'm
and they're a bit
sure.
stinky. The ones that I held were a bit stinky,
Oh, look at them though.
and they walk so weird. And they're lazy and just very dumb.
Oh,
Oh,
so cute.
Koalidia. Low intelligence little dudes. I love it.
Oh,
Good
too
you
funny.
agree, Nana. They're pretty subdued in like zoo enclosures, but they will like they've got sharp claws.
Oh.
So like I guess a lot of prey animals, like even like this crazy deer that you're showing me, like deer are prey animals, but they have the horns because they're not like defenseless, like they're prey because they're born to survive. Like their horns are specifically for defense, or the koala claws. Like they're not there to kill other animals. They're there to make other animals leave them alone.
Yes.
So they're not completely docile.
These are the deers that live like in my house. Not literally, but I see them every single day of my life.
That's
They're
crazy.
super
Little
cute.
Bambis.
Yeah, they're very cute. Just love seeing them every day.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool, though. I don't know if I would approach them as much as you do in
No.
like the videos you send me.
I don't approach them. I'm just living my life, and so are they.
You get pretty close sometimes. Like you just like walk calmly by them when they're like in someone's yard. I think I would go back into my home. I would go back into my home and say, I can't come to work today. There's a deer outside.
I'm just like, whatever cute. The chat types, I'm like, let's look.
Yeah.
I love these Google. Oh, look at this one.
Oh, I wish he makes the tree branch look so, she makes the tree branch look so comfortable. I've got to stop defaulting to calling animals he. Could a deer fight a kangaroo? I hope that they I hope they would get along and be friends.
Right. That's your next comic.
Yeah. Deer, kangaroo, deer and roo. Deer roo. They're just I don't even know if they would have a chance to interact because they weren't not in the same enclosure at the zoo. Oh god, baby hippo's so cute. But they would kill you they would kill you so easily.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so cute.
Oh. And I've held I do find baby crocs quite cute. I've held lots of baby crocodiles.
I love crocodiles. I think they are so cute.
Yes. Yes. Until they get really big. Then they're scary.
What was I was just thinking of, what's a cute animal? A capybara.
They are they remind me of guinea pigs. They're just like guinea pigs
are rodents
with longer legs. They're what, sir?
Yes, they are rodents. Capybaras are rodents.
Yeah, they're pretty big though.
Yeah, they're the biggest rodent, but they are a rodent.
I've never seen one in real life. I would like to see one.
They're so cute.
They're just so goofy in like a cute way. Oh, the little babies are really cute. Turbo guinea pigs.
Turbo guinea pigs.
Oh, expired milk. I used to be concerned about being eaten by hippo. Oh.
Yeah, what's that thing? Like when I was a child, I really thought that quicksand was going to be a bigger problem.
Yes! Yeah, I was like, look out for the Bermuda Triangle, quicksand.
From Ratty in the chat requested.
Oh, otters are really cute.
Mm-hmm. I have seen many otters.
Oh, that's lucky. And acid rain, gosh, yeah.
Sea otters, though. River otters are scary.
Oh, okay.
Sea otters, I have seen so many of these guys in my time. But river
they're super
otters,
cute, though. Okay, let me see the difference. Oh, but they're cute too to me. To me, they're also cute. They're like
they are cute, but like look at them. Like,
they kind of they're like they look closer to seals. Like, but if seals had like more legs. Ooh,
okay.
Obstorm is requesting sloth.
Okay, well, I'm working my way down. Whoops, not Baikal. Just a minute. Baikal seals.
Okay. Oh! Seals are pretty cute. I've met seals in real life. Quicksand! Oh, man! Quicksand. I've read the posts of what you're meant to do to get out of quicksand. There is no such post that is as accurate about men. So, quicksand. Oh, ferrets. I wish they are illegal in the state of Queensland here.
Yeah, rats are illegal in Alberta.
Oh, little ratties, though. I love ratties.
Yeah, Alberta is a rat-free province.
I will never go there then.
There's also, there's literally a designated, rat squad.
Oh, no!
Yes. Sloths. I've heard that British people pronounce it sloth.
Sloth?
Yes.
Okay, well, they're wrong.
Okay, Nana says giant river otters. Oh no. Or giant otters.
Farmer Wants a Wife is also a trash banquet. Women competing for a man is such Dabo. True, true. I really would love trashy lesbian dating shows. Like my wife and I got really into the Netflix show Love is Blind for a while.
Yeah.
Where they separate the
like
men and women and they can only talk through a wall, and then they're like they
Mhm.
know each other for like 10 days and then they get married and like simulate living together and then they say yes or no at the end. It's complete trash. But I would love to watch like a lesbian trash one of that. I know the same makers did The Ultimatum, but they called it like Ultimatum Queer Edition. I was like, I'm not fucking watching that. Um but God, give me the lesbian trash dating shows that also treat their cast ethically, of course.
Mhm. Minka asks why rats are illegal, and Tori says it's so funny to her. Like, what did they do? I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
Brenna's rat control program. Albertans have enjoyed living without the menace of rats since 1950 when the rat control program was established.
No.
It means there's no resident population of rats and they're not allowed to establish themselves. It does not mean we never
The
get rats, but when
I like
found,
the
they're
and
isolated and eradicated.
they are not allowed to establish themselves. This is for all the rats reading this. Like, you are not allowed to do that. Do you realize how fast you were establishing yourself? Do you realize how many years in prison? Like,
Report a rat!
rat block list.
Yeah, it's even illegal to have like a pet rat in Alberta.
Oh, I love pet rats.
Oh. Ooh, do you know what a muskrat is?
No, I've heard that word, but I would have assumed that was a gun.
They're like little
a
beaver-like
musket.
creatures.
What did
They're
the rats do in
cute.
1950? Oh, okay, they're pretty cute. I've never seen a beaver either. I think they're a pretty cool fantasy creature.
Fantasy creatures. The national animal of Canada.
I thought moose was your national animal.
No, beaver is.
Have you seen a real beaver?
Yes, many times.
Oh,
Yeah.
Russian
beaver.
hamster. Oh, officially Canada. Huh.
Official symbols of Canada. The beaver.
What do they
Okay.
symbolize about Canada? They're beavers here. I guess that's everyone's national animal.
Well, primarily because when like Europeans came here to colonize this land, getting beaver tails and beaver pelts was like considered a high luxury item back in England, kind of
Oh,
thing. And
okay.
so Canada's super known for its beavers. The fur
Oh, sorry,
trade
beavs.
was mostly beaver pelts. The world's oldest corporation, the Hudson Bay Company, is Canadian, and it was to establish the trade of beaver pelts.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess it'd be too hard to kill a moose, like especially back then when you didn't have like modern weaponry. Oh, hamsters are so cute. We don't have them here either.
Oh, yeah, not natively anyway, but
No, like I've never seen one in like a pet shop or like anyone owning
really?
a hamster. Yeah, like that. Yeah,
Oh.
I could be wrong. Maybe people import them sometimes, but they are so fucking cute. Hamsters are like cuter guinea pigs.
Yes. Oh my god, I spelt it wrong. Jesus. Oh
Is
no,
that
I
not
spelled
how
it
it's
right.
spelled?
Okay, I thought there was maybe a P in there, but I guess not.
Yeah, isn't there a P? Hamsters?
Well, when I put the P
Because-
in there, it said no. It said, "Do you mean hamster?"
Oh, well,
Go team.
another Bandicoot moment. Didn't know it was spelled that way. Instead of peaked. When did you Bandicoot?
Did you bandicoot? It's like the new code phrase for this chat and stream.
Did she has she bandicooted past trans or yeah, is it I always said it was hamster. Don't come for me.
Me too.
Don't get me started on the things I pronounce wrong, Arbastorm. Like I look at them and I read what I see. Like what is it? It's the non-rice. It's not rice, but it's white lumpy stuff. And I think it's pronounced quinoa, but whenever I see it, I see quinoa.
Noah.
Or oh shit, I forget how to say it properly. I say quit a sailor. Quesadilla. But in my heart, it's Quidasela.
Quesadilla.
Or the big song that was popular a couple years ago, and they were like, Alexa, play the song name, but Alexis, play Despacito, Dapachio. I think I would, yeah. I can't remember what it was, but I kept pronouncing that wrong too. Listen.
Too funny. Speaking of Despacito, today Justin and Hailey Bieber announced that they're expecting a baby.
Rip. Can't believe he's my age.
More natalism.
He should be charged with crimes of, I don't know, having sex with a woman. Only women are allowed to do that.
Right.
Quidasela, Lily. Quidasela. And yeah, rat. Arbiter. Peckin. We don't have pecans here. Okay. When joke was in, there was a joke in SpongeBob, which was my first exposure to the word Texas, and pecan pie. And there was a joke scene where they were trying to make the Texas character feel more at home. And so they were wearing 10-gallon water bottles on their heads as 10-gallon hats. I don't know what a 10-gallon hat is supposed to be. And they were like, and we made you pecan pie. And it was like a can of peas, like the whole can was in the pie, like the metal and all. And I thought the joke was that they forgot to take the peas out of the can to put it in the pie because it would be a pea pie. And then I learned that pecans are a thing that you eat. That's a real thing. That's not peas from a can. Oh, it's pecan?
I think most Americans say pecan.
Oh, pecan.
Pecan.
To me, it looks like pecan.
Pecan. Yeah, I say pecan as well. Pecan.
Pecan. Okay, so there's lots of ways to say. It's like the Americans with their like soda versus pop.
Yeah, I say.
What? Wait, what do you say, sir?
We say pop.
We say fizzy drink.
Fizzy drink.
Yeah, Arbastorm is Texan, and she taught me the way to say it.
Yeah, pop.
Yeah, or there's like, I love that there's apparently places where they just call it all cola, which is insane to me.
No,
Coke. That's a flavor. Or Coke. Yeah, that's crazy because that's a specific flavor. It's a bad flavor.
It's a brand. But yeah,
just coming out with
in
the
the South
takes. I don't like
in the
cola.
South, especially, they'll say like, "What kind of Coke do you want?"
That's insane.
I agree.
I think if I was to rank them, I would say soda, pop. Though soda pop together is kind of fun. And then right down the bottom is Coke, because Coke's a rancid drink.
Fizzy drink is crazy, Rusty. Let's be real.
Fizzy drink is cute and friendly. Would you care for some fizzy drink?
Oh my god.
Would you like, or as my mom calls it, fizz fuzz? Would you like some fizz fuzz?
Fizz fuzz.
Yep. It's much friendlier.
Much friendlier.
The spiders will kill you. The people won't. We're so friendly here. We even have a drink called the Spider, which I think you guys call a float, maybe, where you put like
soda and ice cream.
Yes, we call that a spider.
Yeah, it's a float.
Float. Carbonated drink. Okay, T-Dot.
Carbonated drink, indeed.
Root beer.
Yes, a root beer float. I love root beer. I love root beer. I find it so refreshing and nice.
So you use different kinds of roots, I'm assuming, because we have ginger beer here. It's a big...
No. No, not that. Have you never had root beer?
No.
Like A&W root beer?
No.
Okay, I have an Australian friend who was here in Canada. When was this? Maybe like 2009 or 10 or something. I don't remember. And we were in Vancouver, and he had A&W root beer in Australia before, but he thought it was just a brand. And so when we walked by the A&W restaurant, he was like, "What the fuck?" He was so excited, and we had to go there.
Oh,
yeah, it's like a restaurant, like a fast food chain.
I see.
I love root beer. It's made of primarily like sassafras bark.
You just made that up.
No, I did not.
Sassafras. That's like something Yosemite Sam would say. He'd be like, sassafras. That's, you just made that up.
Oh, Tori doesn't know that there's an A&W restaurant. Yeah, A&W. Okay, well, more Google deep dives.
Danny Minogue is hosting a new lesbian dating show.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah, that was my same thought with the ultimatum queer edition, because I was like, okay, is it going to be like actual women or like, okay. That and sign looks like a G. Agua.
A&W. And their burgers are all like named after like the burger family. So there you can get a grandpa burger or a teen burger or a baby burger or a mommy burger.
I see. Okay.
They have a cute little song about it too. Little
Oh,
jingle. It's all
well, the marketing
to A&W.
has worked on you. You're a success story.
Yeah, and their big thing is the root beer comes in these mugs that they keep the mugs in the freezer. These glass mugs. So they don't have ice in the store because they keep their mugs chilled for you to get your root beer in.
Honestly, that's kind of good. I always ask for drinks without ice because I don't like that. It makes me feel like I have to rush to drink it, otherwise it will get watery.
Yeah.
And I don't want that. And
you are not Canadian if you have not swiped one of those mugs and brought it home with you.
Oh, do you have one?
Of course.
Damn. Wow, let's talk about your crimes for a second.
Yes. Okay. Anyway. It's getting late-ish, not late, but it's 8 o'clock here, and I have to go to bed soon. So
yeah, no worries.
Get up
no
at
worries,
6
Nana.
for work. Ugh.
Yes. Yeah, sucks to be you, but that's fair.
Yeah. So, okay, yes, maybe let's wrap up a bit. So, chat, thank you for being amazing. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks so
Rusty,
much, ladies.
thank you for coming on and being wonderful. Everybody loves you, and I love that when you're on, I can just listen and laugh, and you will do all the heavy lifting.
I always feel like I take over, but I'm glad.
No,
I'm glad you said that way.
Wonderful. Okay, so let's see here. Let's go. We'll put Lease Bounce website in the chat. So check out Rusty there.
Oh yes, and
the Boosty.
The Boosty, I guess, as well, but also the, I'm gonna put it in the chat, is the Leasebound Fan Week. Just I hope that they get some submissions. It's not run by me, it's run by some fans on Tumblr. I'm putting it there. It's just like a week-long fan event where you can like submit things anonymously and stuff. Show them some love, woman-only fandom, all that fun stuff. But yeah, thank you so much, ladies. It's always fun to come on.
Yes. Okay, and I have a little bit of housekeeping. Most likely Lisa will be streaming tomorrow, Friday, at 1 p.m. Eastern time. That is 10 a.m. Pacific time. So make sure you check out that, y'all. And
yes, go watch Lisa.
Lisa taught me well, so I'm going to copy her. The best way you could possibly support this channel is when the stream is over, just refresh your window and just leave a comment. Talk about if you love Leasebound, what animals you liked looking at tonight. Just any little comment is like a comment is the best thing you could possibly do to support a creator on YouTube that you like. So when we're
even
done,
what animals you didn't like, or
that too,
even just like, yeah, I was at the stream, I was here.
Yes, as simple as that. Okay, so thank you again, and we'll see y'all. Lisa and I will stream next Tuesday as well, so we'll be there. And yeah, have a great evening, everyone, and have a great afternoon, daytime to Rusty and Nena, and whoever else is in the southern hemisphere.
Yes.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.